That has been quite a long time since we sat down and talked.
And we got some very, very good questions to answer for you guys. Do you pump and breastfeed or just pump?
Number one most asked question.
Why aren't we showing the boys' faces?
The last time we sat down in these seats was when we announced that we had bought a home. And that has been quite a long time since we sat down and talked.
And we got some very, very good questions to answer for you guys.
We do. It's been, what, 3 months? 4 months? A lot of things have changed. So let's just get right into it.
How do you know when to start giving baby more amount of baby foods?
Basically, you just check with your pediatrician on what they say, and ours just said to go with what we thought was best. Obviously, mother's intuition is usually always generally around
just
how
do
much.
Your research and base it off what your baby needs.
I know
or wants.
Some do baby-led weaning, some do puree, some do a mixture of both. I always just say do what you feel comfortable with. Baby weaning is a lot.
Bentley likes real food way more than Asher did. He's not big on the purees and the pouches and stuff like that. Love your boys' names. What would you name a baby girl?
Honestly, we had our name ready, and we still might use it one day.
Probably not. Probably not. Unless we reverse in that way.
I'm talking about like adoption. Like if we decide to adopt later on down the road a girl.
2's enough for now for me.
We still felt complete just as much as we did when we decided to stop. So I really don't think we'll add another one. I feel just like this, like, I don't know, this is it. Like I couldn't think about adding another baby right now, even though like I would, like if something came up where like there was an opportunity for me to like say adopt a baby or or if I got pregnant, because there's still that 0.1% chance of getting pregnant with a vasectomy. But the name we had picked out for our girl was Iris.
Yeah.
And then we had the middle name, did we do Iris Wren? Named after
I think so.
Mommy miscarried. Yeah.
We've had that picked out since like high school.
So that was our like first. We actually knew our girls' names.
A lot of them are flowers. Yeah. There's like Iris, Ivy, Lily.
Yeah. We knew our girls' names, but we did not have any boys' names.
So we just came up with those.
Set in stone. But we came up with them and we loved them, and it just the names we picked. We've never been like a sentimental person towards names. Yeah. Until we had the miscarriage.
Want something that would sound cool.
Yeah, we're like, we like the way that sounds.
If you catch a touchdown in the end zone, what would sound cool? When you find yourself with an hour at the end of the night, what do you choose to do for fun?
Honestly, we have boys that like to go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So when we get time to ourselves, we clean the kitchen up, and then...
Recently we've been watching a show.
Oh yes, we were watching Ginny and Georgia.
And then before that we watched...
Night Agent.
Night Agent. We have been watching like an episode a night, but now I
I
don't know what we'll do.
I don't know.
We don't have a show now.
Probably go to sleep.
Put some good shows in the comments, and then we'll have a show to watch.
Or don't, so we can go to bed instead of staying up till 1 a.m.
What do you struggle with?
Oh, what do I struggle with? I would say right now, my biggest struggle is anxiety.
Yeah.
What do you say? I've always struggled with anxiety. Sorry, there's like a random creature out there just running in the gravel. I think it's a bird. I don't know where it went. It caught my eye. I would say right now it's definitely anxiety. I would say probably before I had Bentley, it would be like self-conscious more about my body, but I've kind of like got out of that. I really love my body and embrace it as it is, because everybody's bodies are different and we're not made to be the same. So I really just embraced that about myself. Right now it's just been a lot of overwhelmingness as like trying to make sure the boys get 100% of my attention, but then I have work, and then I have cleaning to do, then I have cooking to do. And not as if Christian's not helping at all with all of this, but I feel bad when he has to step in and take care of the boys more than me some days, because I have more work to get done than you do.
I like taking care of the boys.
He's like, okay, you do your fun stuff because you have more fun doing that than I do. I feel like I'm struggling a lot with that. It has gotten better. We made a few changes that we're about to talk about that I feel like have helped a little bit with it. What are you struggling with right now?
Probably going to bed. I'll catch myself staying up to like 3, 4 a.m. So.
I wish that was my problem.
I feel like I had one struggle.
Yeah.
Staying focused. That's another one.
Yes. I just realized
I have ADHD, I'm pretty sure. Undiagnosed, of course.
I just realized I didn't put my wedding rings on this morning.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, her wedding rings are off. Where's her wedding ring? They're in my jewelry box because my hands were swollen from travel. There's an indentation there if you can see where they usually go.
I'll believe you.
Thanks.
What eye color do you all have? My little family is so mixed. We have 2 blues, 1 green, and a brown.
Ours is honestly very unexpected for how we were
Yeah.
gonna do. I have brown, if like you need a close up. And then Christian has like a green, hazel, bluish. Like
I don't really know.
Yours
what color.
change often.
I think it says green on my driver's license.
Green. And then Asher has brown and Bentley has blue.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of every eye color in the
Yeah.
family. So it's kind of fun. I was not expecting to have a blue-eyed baby, but you know, a little sprinkle of blue.
Do most houses have basements in your area or no for tornadoes?
You know, I wish that
I was
every
gonna say,
house had one here.
If a lot of them did, we would definitely be in one.
Oh yes, shockingly, surprisingly, I think it's because there's a lot of like, what is it, rock under us or something? There's something
in the soil,
yeah.
in the dirt
that doesn't allow you to dig into it to build without something happening.
I think it would basically just cost a lot of money. So like if you did like a custom build, you could obviously put a basement.
Yeah.
But like they don't just like build communities with basements.
Yeah, like when we went to Utah, we were like in love with it. Every place had a basement. I love not the idea just of a basement to go hide for a tornado, but it's an extra space for like fun
Man cave.
areas.
With a bunch of games, game room for the kids.
Honestly, anything.
Playroom.
I mean, when I always thought of hosting, I always thought of like a walkout basement with like a little, what's it called, a dinette, like a little kitchen downstairs and like a living room and like extra bedrooms, just like a separate little area. But they don't really make them here. And tornadoes used to not be as heavy in this area. It's just more frequently, they call it Dixie Alley, has shifted over, has made it more populated for tornadoes. And they're year round. Like, we don't really know.
Other than like summer. I don't think you ever really get any in summer.
I don't know.
Or fall, but it's winter.
It's summer.
Winter and spring.
In London, Kentucky just got wiped out.
It's not summer yet.
Oh, okay.
Technically, summer starts in July.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess it is still spring, but I don't know why well, I mean, I don't know. I do know why they don't, because of the soil and stuff, but I really wish that they did make it more accessible and easy to have a basements here. But definitely in our dream home forever place, we will want a basement.
Or a tornado shelter.
Or a tornado shelter. I wouldn't say we will have one, because you never know like affordability when it comes to those things, because houses obviously just keep going up more and more and more. And if it's gonna cost like an extra like $200,000 to put in a basement,
I don't think it would cost $200,000 for a basement.
I don't know how much it would be to put in a basement.
I don't either, but I don't think it would be $200,000.
We thought about getting one of those like little tornado shelter things and putting it in the ground outside. If we were building a home, I would probably custom do it in the garage, you know, like the ones that go underneath the pavement. But it would just be a lot of money to do that now, so it's kind of out of the question.
For right now.
For right now. Maybe later on.
Plus it's summer, so maybe next spring.
Maybe next spring. Maybe in the winter.
Do you ever regret your decision not to have any more kids?
As of right now, no.
Yeah.
We're only, of course, like 2 months in of
Well, we got the procedure in January.
Yeah,
like,
but it wasn't like fully effective.
But we decided.
Yeah,
everything.
that's true. I mean, I still feel the exact same as we did when we decided we were done. Obviously, there's a lot that plays into being done with kids, not just like, oh, we're done.
I feel like the biggest thing would be just having time to play with like more kids would be hard.
I feel like we really focus on being intentional with our kids, and right now I feel like we have a good medium of like someone's always there to be with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would just be hard, and especially with how this last pregnancy went, with like how I felt like as a diabetic and like personal, and like how the birth went amazing, but like we thought about have to have a C-section. We went in for a C-section and then it went great. I personally think the best part is birthing the baby and getting the baby out. So I just 9 months of me carrying a child again, I'm just like, I mean, I would do it again in a heartbeat, but I feel done. I feel complete. We're happy with our boys.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset if we had more kids, but
No, I wouldn't either.
But I don't want more kids, if that makes sense. Like,
it makes sense as like, if we were to get pregnant, we would be ecstatic and super excited about it. And if it was a boy, we would be super excited about it. We wouldn't be upset if we never like had a girl. Like, I feel like we're happy either way with the blessing that God's given us. So yeah. Or if like something happened and someone was like, hey, like this child needs to be adopted, and you know, y'all have talked about it, would you go through the steps to like take in this baby or this child? And like, then we'd have to pray over it and go from there. But any summer plans?
Just hanging in our backyard, you know, just built a play set.
We did just do like a whole like backyard thing. Like, our goal when we bought this home was to be home and enjoy our living space around our home.
Yeah.
And this playground went on sale for like $400. And if you've ever looked at a playground like play set for your kid, they start out at like $1,000 just for like the slide.
For the nicer ones.
Well, for the nicer ones, but I feel like at Menards there was some that were expensive for nothing.
Yeah.
But then this one was on sale. I don't know why. I don't know if it's recalled or what it might be wrong with it. But we love it. It's a slide, 2 swings, a little rock climbing wall, and then we got our outdoor furniture set up and
got a fire pit.
And it feels cozy, and
the boys love it.
The boys love it. The boys love each other right now, and it's just so heartwarming. I'm gonna cry thinking about how well they're being right now with each other. And Asher being the firstborn was the best way God could have put it.
He's a lot more gentle than Bentley is, for sure.
He's a lot more gentle. He's a lot more caring, a lot more loving, and like he's like, Bubby, you need me? Bubby,
obviously,
need me?
though, I mean, Bentley's like a baby, but he's definitely more of a wild child than Asher was. Like, he'll run, I mean, not run, but like he'll try to grab everything. He'll grab cords, he'll try to grab outlets. And Asher, we've literally never had to baby-proof the house because Asher just never bothered stuff like that.
He's more mischievous is the word for him. Mischievous.
But now we definitely have to baby-proof our house.
I know, but
Summer plans
other than being
just
around.
Got back from Dollywood.
That was so much fun.
Then we're gonna go to Kentucky Kingdom, and I think that's all we have planned for summer.
And then we're gonna do stuff for 4th of July.
That's true. I forget like summer plans isn't just like vacations.
Just like trips. We want to go to the beach if possible. I don't know if we're gonna have time to fit it in.
Like the later it gets, the hotter it gets, because it's almost July, and I don't want to take the boys out and it'd be like 95 degrees. Because there's obviously not gonna enjoy that. And
I'd probably say we could go in September, but then we have their birthday trip in October, and then we have their birthdays in October, which I'm like, I don't want to think about a 3-year-old. The thought of having a 3-year-old.
I know he's getting so big.
And then we've already started planning their birthdays, and I don't think we really have any big plans, just but to relax. Our friends are getting married in August. So
we have 2 weddings to go to.
We have 2 weddings.
We don't really plan trips. We just kind of like, if it's like 2 weeks before, we're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't like playing long term because it doesn't make it exciting, I guess, for me.
It's kind of hard with kids. I feel like obviously kids get a lot more sick than like adults. So like if something comes up and like a last minute trip, or if we had recently a lot more like people since we went to Villatel interested in us working with them. Yeah. So that has been like Kentucky Kingdom when they reached out to us.
What carrier did you guys use in Disney?
I used the Mabe carrier, and this was the first carrier I actually ever loved. With Asher, I never tried carriers, so it made him not really like it. And with Bentley was a more personal touch baby, and I love it. I still use it with him. We used it on our last trip, but then I found a waterproof baby carrier that I used at the water parks, and I love that one also. So all of those, are they going to be linked in the caption?
We can link them.
We'll link them in the caption for you guys.
Do you pump and breastfeed or just pump? I'm an exclusive pumper.
All of that just changed. I made it to 7.5 months of breastfeeding, and I would have pump on occasion and give bottles, but he went through like a month of no bottles. Like he went on strike. He did not like them at all. And when that happened, that made me realize like I need to introduce more bottles, because it was just very hard on me mentally to do me 24/7, which I enjoyed breastfeeding so much. And then when we switched to bottles, my milk supply started dropping down because I wasn't getting as much.
And then we talked to one of your friends, and she said when she stopped breastfeeding, BRB.
Bentley's just woke up from his nap. So with my breastfeeding journey, sadly it is over with. It was very hard for me to stop breastfeeding because it was such a connection thing. And with Bentley being our last, but my first to have a successful journey with, it was really mentally hard. It felt like I was like obviously just done with that era. And it's been about 2 weeks since we switched over to bottles, and then I slowly just like dried up my supply. And I wanted to be mentally prepared to tell you guys, because there's some very, very aggressive and mean people when it comes to talking about like the way you feed your babies. Some are just like against certain ways, and it's just hard for me to talk about it and feel shame because I didn't make it to a year with him, but I did what was best for my mental health and for him. So yeah, that being said, we did breastfeed. We pumped in the beginning and did a mix of both.
Hey!
Hi, baby. So we pumped in the beginning and did breastfeeding with both, and then towards the end was breastfeeding only. And then when he started taking bottles again, I knew it was my opportunity to start working on weaning him. And yeah, so we are done with breastfeeding, and he is using Kindamil, which he's always used like supplemented here and there when he needed. And I've talked about that over on my stories, that we did use Kindamil here and there when needed, when my supply would drop or just struggles with that. I never had a huge oversupply. I was almost just enough, or I have some in the fridge I need to use up, honestly, that I forgot in the freezer that I forgot about. But that is how our breastfeeding journey went, and it is so bittersweet. I'm gonna try not to cry that it is over with, in the thought of of never doing it again, but it was a very hard journey, but it was a very rewarding journey to have that one-on-one moment with him. But it's so nice to sleep again because he is now waking up at least, well, I'd say once a night. He sometimes wakes up twice, sometimes sleeps through the night, but he only slept through the night like once or twice. It's mainly been like one a night, but that's still better than 3 to 4 times a night getting up and feeding him. I just don't think he was fully getting fed enough and he was just snacking. So that's how that went. Okay, we're getting Bentley situated up right here. It was the boys' alone time / nap time, but this one's awake.
And we only have like a few more questions, so we're gonna try to get them out real quick.
Because we have the most important question that everyone has been asking to.
We can't skip that question.
Yes.
All right, excuse me, ma'am. Could you scoot over so I can get in?
Gonna continue to peek around and look at him. We just got a playpen in, and he is absolutely loving it. How are you liking the new house?
Wait, what?
How are you liking the new house?
I'm not liking the new house? What do you mean liking? I'm loving it. Come on, girl.
It's been amazing. We have missed like the location of where we were, like being where we needed to be. We've drove like back to Nashville like 4 or 5 times already.
We love Franklin. It's so nice, but it is just so expensive.
It's so expensive, and it's a 2.5, 3 hour drive away from family because Nashville, if you haven't noticed, is like the hot spot that everybody's moving to, and it is growing and traffic's growing, and it's just gotten really hard.
Yeah, I'd say the traffic every time we go makes us not miss it.
One of the number one most asked questions that we have gotten.
It's just the number one.
The number one.
Obviously.
I've kind of commented back to a few people on it, and I haven't really answered anybody because I just wanted to come on here and just talk about it in general instead of having to answer everybody back.
Question is obviously, why aren't we showing the boys' faces? This lady said, are you guys not showing the boys' faces anymore? Genuinely curious.
And someone else said, did something happen as to why you stopped showing the boys' faces? Another, just genuinely curious.
Yes. So first off, no, nothing happened. We've been contemplating this for like, I think it's 2 years.
Yeah.
Not this last Christmas. Not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. We considered to not show them anymore.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we don't really show them that much. So if they're in there every now and then, it's fine. And then we just eventually came to the point this year that
we were just honestly ready. Like I said, me going through this whole anxiety thing, and I was just like, this isn't fair towards them to be involved in content. And if I'm getting hate, I never want my kids to get hate because I put them in a video. So we were just like, okay, let's just do what feels natural. So we prayed over it for a little bit. We kind of slowed down showing them. Yeah. And some people didn't even notice until we started blurring their faces when we like would show things.
Yeah, we got like comments like 2 months after like we stopped showing them. They were like, you stopped showing your kids? And I was like, well, that just shows that we didn't really show them that much. Okay.
He's snarling his nose at the elephant.
Poor guy.
And now Asher is up and at it. So he is now in the playpen with Bentley.
So we're going to be peeking back and forth, obviously, during this. Back and forth?
Back and forth, yeah. Are we checking on you and Bubby? Are you going to make sure he's good? Yeah, you're the best.
Daddy chilled him down.
Daddy chilled him down?
Yep, he chilled him down.
Yep, he's all chill now.
You rocked him to bed.
You rocked him to bed?
Yeah, rocked him to bed.
You want to sit and play with him? Thank you, baby. He's so sweet. That sweet little voice. And when we did share them, we loved it. And we loved getting to just show our family.
Basically, we just wanted to keep their lives more private. We didn't want like really a lot of information about them to be out there.
But not long after we decided to quit showing them, there was a whole thing that happened in our hometown where like this dude took a bunch of women's pictures and photos of their faces and some girls' faces and put it on a not so good site.
Yeah. And that was very affirming that like, all right, that was a good decision we made there.
And good or bad, it's like their life deserves to be private until they have the authority to tell us that they would like to. It's hard because Asher doesn't understand it right now.
Yeah, he likes, like we still obviously video him, we just don't show
the video. And like when we're sending it to family, we'll be like, talk to Mama or Mimi or Papa and tell them like what you're doing. And he loves it. And when he sees us video,
I'll be back.
I'm gonna let him figure out what they're doing back there for right now, but he still loves to be in the videos. And when we're videoing, it actually makes it harder for us to get videos done because he wants to be in the videos. But for right now, we just feel this is what's best. A lot of people asked if we were doing it as if it was a trend because a lot of people have quit showing their kids' faces.
Nope, but not a trend.
Not a trend. It's what we felt led. We felt led to do this and we felt it was the right thing and it feels good.
Yeah.
And it feels awkward if we would ever even come back to do it.
Even if they wanted to do it, it would still feel weird.
It would feel so weird. It give us a peace of mind that like they're not out there and cannot be used, because there's been a lot of more cases of people that are screenshotting kids' faces and putting them on all these awful things.
I know on Facebook there's a lot of fake profiles. Like I see a lot of families have fake profiles of them that post their content.
And that's why some of our content creator friends quit showing their kids, was because people were repurposing their content or their pictures to make money off essentially their kids, because their kids' faces were in the pictures. So it was just like, this is what we feel is best. We weren't really showing them unless we were like doing like a family video or
like a holiday picture or whatever.
Pictures. And I'm like, they can look the other way and we can still feel as a family. As someone who loves to document life in those moments, I'm like, you just document them and you don't have to share them. So it's made that really special to have that with our family, that we have just those moments and like the whole world doesn't get to see them. But we really appreciate all the love and support of not showing them, because it has been a lot harder to not show them than just to film and go. As you can tell right now, this video has taken forever to film because they're behind us and they're with us, but they're not right here. So it's harder for us to keep our attention on you and on them. So we're just gonna wrap this up and say thank you all so much for loving on us and caring for us and being along. We're really trying to get videos out weekly.
We're gonna do it.
And we'll see you all in the next one at Dollywood. Bye, guys.